Hi loves, it's Lacey and welcome to our space. So today's video, I am participating in a challenge video that's hosted by some very talented crafters, my crafting sisters from another mister, the crafting cousins, Kay and Trish. And they have a co-host with them today for their thrift flip road trip, which is Sammy from Unicorn Dust Designs. Now, what they've asked you to do is to go to a thrift store or anywhere you can get secondhand items and repurpose them to make home decor for your home. This is a way of keeping things out of landfills and not always having to buy something new. So everyone in this challenge, they have an open playlist that I will link down below, will be doing a thrift flip. I went to Habitat for Humanity Restore, as you saw, and I found all of this wonderful tile. I love the fact that they are repurposing tile that they use to make houses for people. And I picked up this piece here. They only had a couple of these pieces. I didn't open any boxes and take out just one tile so no one would fall short if they were buying tile to use in their home. I found one piece of this marble and it is really nice, and I'm just cleaning it off here and we are going to jump right in with it. I also found these handles. They are kind of whimsical, thick and chunky, and I thought I might use those to put handles on here because we are going to be making a tray. I also found these also, and I really like them. They're kind of delicate, and I have to tell you, I thought I was going to use the chunky ones, but I do end up using those instead. Each one of these items was $2 a piece, and as you can see, the tile is unfinished on the edge. So I decided to take some rub and buff in the color I start out with antique gold, and I'm going to put it on all of the edges. I'm using a wet wipe here, and just because I have long nails, I'm putting a little on the tip, and I'm just going to tip up the tile and rub it across the side. This is really easy to do, and I've never used rub and buff on tile, but it says you can use it on multiple surfaces, so I thought I'd do this. I wanted it to have a slightly metal look, but not like a shiny bright metal look. And I'm here in Michigan, so I am not spray painting anything, and I didn't have any metallic paint that I could brush on with a brush, so I thought this rub and buff would look really nice on here. It is very simple to do. I'm going to speed up my footage here. And I found out as I went along, if you wipe it off, if you get it on the top of the tile, it comes off right away. If you don't wipe it off right away, then you're going to have to kind of scrape it off a little bit. And I'm doing this on this side, and it is getting on the top of the tile, so I'm continuously wiping it off of the top of the tile, and I do just dot it on so I don't have to put my tile down instead of putting it on the wet wipe, in order to just keep it going as quickly as possible. It does dry pretty fast in certain areas, and then other areas, if you touch it, it still messes up. But if you turn the tile towards you where the marble top is facing down, then you get it on the bottom of the tile and not on the top as well. So that's just a trick if you want to try this. My stuff was getting on the bottom of the edge of the tile, but not the top. So then once I was done with that, I just set it aside so it could dry really well, because if you touch it, it will come off because I did it kind of thick. I decided to go ahead and do the same thing on these kind of whimsical handles, and this footage is sped up a little because no one wants to sit here and watch me do that. So I did both of those and I set them aside for it to dry as well. Then next I decided to take out these little beads. They're wooden beads. I got them from Joann's a while ago. They're almost like hexagons or octagons. I'm not sure exactly, but I have 4 of them. I'm going to be using those as little feet, and I covered them up completely with the rub and buff as well. You see, I put on gloves because it is a messy process. Then I went with my Cricut Maker 3, and I went into their images, and I decided to cut out an image and use this champagne colored smart vinyl to make some roses. This is right in their images. You can search and find it if you have a Cricut. If you don't have a Cricut, you can use stickers from the Dollar Tree. They have all kinds of nice stickers, or from one of the other craft stores like Michael's or Hobby Lobby, or you can skip this step altogether. If you have really steady handwriting or something, you can draw on there. Dollar Tree has some really pretty gold pens that you can draw, but I'm not that talented, so I went ahead with my Cricut. Or you could even order some designs off of Etsy if you wanted to do, but I'm doing this as cheap as possible, and I do have a Cricut, so I utilized it. So I put that in the middle there of my tray, and I will show you here too that the color of it is really quite gold. So I decided to re-rub and buff with regular gold leaf, the nicer handles, the handles that look more delicate, and I put some on the feet here that I'm now gluing on the bottom corners of this tray with just regular Gorilla hot glue with my Ryobi heavy duty glue gun. And I also put it around the edges on top of the antique gold. I don't show you that because you already saw me do the edges. And then I'm going to use these handles because I thought it went much better with it since I added the roses to this. If I hadn't added the roses, the other ones would have worked really well. I'm making this for myself to go in my bathroom. We're going to remodel my bathroom, so that's why I did this way. And then I just glued them down with the same glue gun. Now these are decorative handles only. You can't lift this tray because it's kind of heavy with the handles. Use E6000 if you want to do that. So this is how it turned out. I absolutely love it. I have some things that I'm going to put in my bathroom on it, and I think it's just lovely. DIY is so easy to do, and it would make a perfect gift for someone for their birthday, for Mother's Day, and the cost is so little. I paid $2 for the tile. Each handle was $2 also. The Cricut vinyl didn't cost me hardly anything for the little bit amount that I did, and neither did the little feet because they're beads that came in a bag with like 300. So now for this DIY, it's really the simplest thing in the world. I'm going to show you a couple of little things you can do with these plates and trays that I got from the thrift store. Not one of these cost more than $5. Most of them were either $4.99 half off or a couple of bucks. And I got these after Christmas because a lot of people clear out things from their house and this take it to the thrift store. You can also find them at estate sales. Look at how pretty these pieces are. These two pieces that I just showed you, I know the same person put them at the Salvation Army. This is where I got them. They have the same pattern. Then I also went over to their candlesticks. I'm always looking for crystal candlesticks or really nice glass ones. And I picked up all of these all together for all of the plates, all of the candlesticks. I paid less than $20. Now, isn't that ridiculous? That is a great price, and I do so many things with these. The ones with the little red stickers actually came from a estate sale, and then most of the plates and the other candlesticks either came from Salvation Army or Grace Centers of Hope. Now, I did have one of the candlesticks and two of the plates already in my stash. This is the first candlestick I already had. I have used this thing in so many different DIYs. I also have this light cover. You can see there's a hole in it. It's supposed to have a light bulb through it, and I picked that up for little or nothing a while back. It fits perfectly in this candlestick. The candlestick is just glass, and this is heavy duty glass at the top. Nothing is crystal, but I can put a wreath around the bottom of it and elevate it, and then put a few little flowers in the bottom of that if I wanted to. But instead, I'm going to take my glue gun and put a couple of dots of glue on it, and then I'm going to push it up to the top of where the bottom of the vase is, and just hold it there and let it dry. And it will stay there perfectly fine. And then it elevates this whole look of just this candlestick. I put a candle in it, and hello. So have yourself a thrift flip of two different thrift items that didn't even look like they came together, and they work perfectly together. You can do that here, like I took a candlestick that is crystal and put a plate on it, and I have a serving dish, food safe. Here's another one. a different candlesticks, and this one is more like a bowl plate, and so I can put a little dish in the middle, so I can have like a dipping dish and then put strawberries around it or whatever I want, and you have food safe and it elevates. I just wanted to share that little trick with you guys because I host parties all the time, and you can glue these things together with Gorilla Hot Glue and then just take them apart and use them in a different style or in a different way for whatever your needs are. And they store so much easier that way. So that is it for this video. I want to thank the crafting cousins, Kay and Trish, and Sammy over at Unicorn Dust Design for hosting this challenge. I loved every second of it. Comment down below, have you bought things at the thrift store and put them together and then taken them back apart and put them back together for something else like I did the last items? And would you make this tray? I think it turned out really, really pretty, and it's going to be sitting in my bathroom when we renovate it. Possibilities are actually endless with this tray, and they had so many beautiful tiles. You could have picked something else to go with your own personal style, so make sure you check them out. So that is it, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye, loves.